Up from you, especially on Instagram, your projects. What are some of the major projects that you're proud of throughout the year?
First of all, I'm so proud of my school project that I did. It was so amazing when I was amongst the top.
Uh-huh.
And also my work being published in a magazine,
Wow.
which gave me a platform, and
Uh-huh.
also being in articles.
Wow, that is something major, right? Yeah. How are you so far?
I'm good.
You're good, you sure? Okay, okay. It's been a very tough year, the elections and all that. But, well, let us know, what are the most influential people or people who you met, close friends, who have actually changed things that you used to do and see them in a different way?
Oh, first of all, I have met a lot of people this.
From our preliminary investigations, we have established that the last time the deceased was seen alive was on 28 December last year.
So, ladies and gentlemen, hope you can hear me. If you cannot hear me, please write in the comments. The reason I'm doing this stream today is because what's been happening in Kenya over the last few days is a cause for concern. We've just had people murdering each other left, right, and center. We have people masquerading as your lovers, and then in the middle of the night or wherever, they decide to take your life. The first case we had was that of Mercy Jepleting.
We are on with investigations with the objective of apprehending the main suspect for to face justice in court. Today, postmortem was conducted on the deceased, and the doctor formed the opinion that the cause of death was asphyxia due to neck compression in keeping to manual strangulation. In layman's language, she was strangled, and that was the cause. That was what caused her death.
Now, the reason for this presentation is because it's not normal human beings who will put their hands around their neck and strangle you. Normal human beings don't do that. These are things that are encountered in the animal kingdom. And so these kind of things, yes, they existed, but not at the rate at which they are happening recently. Maybe our generation, was corporally punished by the teachers, and maybe our personalities were suppressed. But what is happening recently is that kids are not being corporally punished at school, and that's a good thing. I mean, it helps you portray and display your real personality. And so it can be good if you're using that, if you're expressing the good side of you. The problem is we have these kids expressing the bad side of themselves. And so you have our girls, our men, being murdered left, right, and center by their very lovers. And so in order to protect yourself, it's important for you to be able to tell who is likely to take your life, and how do you tell that somebody is, that somebody is likely to take your life? The thing that you need to know is that a psychopath
When you are in space, they just love you.
is known right from childhood. You know what a child is likely to grow into a psychopath right from a very tender age. They tend to be cruel to other kids. They tend to be cruel to other animals, be they pets. They tend to love setting fires on. So Parents know who among their kids is a psychopath. What the society hasn't figured out is what to do in order to prevent these people from becoming a problem in the society. And so, what happened to Chiloba is, in my opinion, an act of psychopathy. So, whoever took his life, beating him up, he turns unconscious, puts him in a box, and dumps him somewhere along the highway or some forest somewhere. That's a psychopath. That's not a normal person. And unfortunately, we have lots of psychopaths moving around the community. This person who killed Chiloba probably has done things like this. So you wonder how many other people whose lives he has taken away. So this is very sad situation. And I think it's a sense of urgency that we have to rise up and identify these people and lock them up. They shouldn't be walking around the streets because they're going to take the lives of other people. They're going to kill other human beings because they do have a sense of reckless disregard for human life. Another thing that I am concerned about is that people have had trauma in their childhoods. And when you have trauma, you tend to be a little bit ruthless than the general population. And so these traumas have not been treated. And what is happening is they are unleashing their violence towards other people, towards their lovers, because of what happened to them in their childhood. That is very sad, and we have to start being ready to deal with these kind of situations, because we cannot continue to have our girls, our men being murdered left, right, and center. And we are not doing anything. The science is available, not just here, but also globally. The science is available to deal with situations like this. So we have to be very deliberate about it. We have to employ forensic science. We have to identify kids right from school and then nurture them towards being responsible citizens. We have to change the way we raise our kids. We have to we have to train our parents on how to identify these kind of kids. And when they do, then they have to work with law enforcement and also the mental health professionals to try and address these kinds of behaviors. So I think that's all I can say. And all I can say is that you have to figure out a way of knowing whether your lover is likely to take your life. I mean, you just cannot sit there and not know what to do. So how does a psychopath look like? A psychopath tends to be a very angry person. And so if you have a lover, ask yourself, let's say you take a 10 shilling or 20 shilling of his money. How do they respond? Is the response matching the kind of crime that you have committed? 20 shillings for a person who makes like $30,000, $50,000 shillings a month is not a lot of money. And so if they're holding and waving their knife towards you just because you spent their 20 shillings, then that's not a very good reaction. Then it's time for you to run away. The other characteristic that they display is a sheer lack of remorse. So you have somebody killing Chiloba and then stacking his body in a box, in a metal box, and goes and throws it away in a forest or some kind of a highway. That's lack of remorse. And even calls the caretaker and tells him that I am moving out. We are moving out of this house. assembles a team of people, covers up the number plate of the car, and drives away. Does not notify the family, does not feel sad about it, wants to go on with his life as though nothing happened. Um, that fits truly into the very reckless and sheer disregard of human life. And that is acceptable. It makes our society unsustainable. If we continue to have these kind of occurrences as a society, and remember, there's other people learning from this kind of behavior. They are watching it on TV. They know you can kill somebody and put them in a box and throw it away. They think it's okay. Our kids are seeing this. And so we are going to have lots of copycat people learning from this behavior, and not only wanting to do it, but also thinking that it's right, that it's a good coping skill to react to things. Also, psychopaths are known to behave in a manner that is not in sync with the social norms and behavior. So how do they do their things? How do they eat? They tend to eat in a manner that is not in sync with this normal social behavior. And so as a society, we have to try and identify these people and get them help. And if you have a lover or a husband or a wife who you think is a psychopath, you better run away. Because if you don't run away, you're going to die. He's gonna take your life away. So they have, just to sum it up, let me say this, that psychopaths tend to get very angry, irritable, and aggressive. They also have a reckless disregard of human life. They tend to act without remorse.